Why you will fail to live your dream. What is it that makes people fail at living the life of their dreams, at following their bliss, and living an amazing life? Why is that, and why might this happen to you? This video is a response to a question of the son of a participant about our upcoming seminar series in 24 modules. Follow your bliss, live the life of your dreams. And maybe if you're watching this, you already know about our seminar series. And if you don't know, you hear about it right now. And to get more information about it, just check in the link in the description. This is a seminar series where we explore what it needs to follow your bliss, to live the life of your dreams, and give you all the tools and all the support you need to do exactly that, to live an amazing life. And one of the most wonderful features of this, as it is of now, is that it does not have a financial barrier to entry, because you can basically pay what you want to pay. So nobody will be barred from this training because they don't have the resources. And if you want to know more about what it's all about and how that works, please check out the link in the description. So let's suppose you heard about this, and now, as this person asked, you ask yourself, is this going to work? Is this worth it? What is it even worth to me? And to answer this question, and to answer the most fundamental questions about why we sometimes fail to live an amazing life, that's the purpose of this video. So let's go right into it. And in order to do so, we want to check out the fundamental map of a successful life, the map of the hero's journey. And this is what it looks like. And the hero's journey, before the hero's journey even starts, what we have is the creation of the world. And as part of the creation of the world of the hero in classical mythology, there's, of course, the idea that the hero has a destiny. Now, this brings us into the deep and somewhat philosophical question, do you have a destiny? And there are different approaches to this, both from a spiritual or religious perspective, but also from an atheistic, theological perspective. And we'll explore these different perspectives in more depth in our training. Right now, we will just assume that, yes, you can have a destiny, whether that is given from some outer source or personally chosen, personally found. That is a different question, but we just, for the moment, assume that there is a destiny that you are having, but you not necessarily know what it is. Now, nobody fails because they can't have a destiny, but they may fail because, and that's the next point, because they never hear the call to adventure. And that is, I think, a vital idea, but that's not you. Because let's face it, if you are watching this video, you've heard about the idea that maybe there is a possibility for you to live an amazing life. And that's the call to adventure. So you can't say, hey, I failed because nobody ever told me, because you watching this video is living proof that you've heard of this possibility, and you've heard about an online workshop that we're doing where you can explore this. But you could fail, and that is, in any case, the next stage of any hero's journey that you must go through, whether you succeed or not. You could fail to overcome the refusal, because that's the next thing that the hero needs to do. He needs to overcome the refusal. What's the refusal? The refusal is basically when the hero has heard about the chance to adventure. Now, this could be anything the call to adventure in classical mythology is that the hero, some guy comes and says, hey, there is a dragon who has abducted a princess, and there's a great prize for anybody who frees the princess. Or in a more modern version, like, for example, Star Wars, it is Luke Skywalker hearing about the Force, hearing about the rebellion, and that he personally may be needed. And we might say, hey, I don't know if this is right. And there are a number of questions that the hero has to ask himself in order to overcome the refusal. Now, you might fail with any one of those questions. And these questions, let's look at them in somewhat more detail. So the way we're going to look at these questions is by basically saying that any of the fundamental levels of our being, the way we're going to look at it in this training, could bring up these questions. Now, in order to either memorize this, think of the world in which we live and think about the infinite universe. So we're standing on this earth, and above us is the infinite universe. And there is one of the stars in the infinite universe that we're going to think of symbolically as our personal star, just like the sun is the star of the planet Earth. You could think of having your personal star. Star is a symbol that is traditionally associated with destiny for various reasons. It's just a metaphor, of course. And then there is the cognitive aspect of yourself, that's your thoughts. Then there is the emotional aspect represented by your heart. And then there is your gut feeling and your actions represented by your belly and your hands. And let's look at each of these levels and what kind of doubts and questions could come up from each of these levels. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, are the goal of what I want to achieve, finding and following my bliss, and the means, are they compatible with ethical values? Would it be ethical if somebody did live an amazing life? And also, a very important question, does this kind of fit into my worldview that people are here for a reason? So religious people or spiritual people very often find this easy to integrate into their worldview, but atheistic people may sometimes go like, okay, well, what do you even mean by this? But there are philosophical approaches. I'm thinking, for example, of Kant's categorical imperative, which is entirely based on philosophical ideas, on rational ideas, why it would be rational to think that every human being has a purpose. But these questions we will look at somewhat deeper in our course. And for right now, let's just be aware that this is an important question that you need to ask yourself, because if you think that's ethical, that's unethical or meaningless, you will not want to pursue this any further. But then there's a second question, and that's about your personal destiny. Is it now my job, my mission to find or follow my bliss? Or do I even deserve to have an amazing life and follow my dreams? Is that right for me, or who am I to deserve that? That's an important question. So if you have any doubts about that, then this may stop you. Now, going to the cognitive level, it's even more fundamental in the sense that we ask, is this even possible? So maybe it would be ethical. Maybe I could imagine it happens. Maybe I feel I deserve it, but it's maybe not possible. Just like I could say, I personally believe I deserve that I should have an Iron Man suit just like Tony Stark has. But right now, I don't think it's possible to construct something like that. So maybe it would be ethical, maybe it would be, I deserve it, but maybe it's not possible. Maybe it cannot work. So if you have any doubts about how this could work, that can hinder you seriously. But maybe you say, okay, I think that can work. using the stupid example of Tony Stark's Iron Man suit again, maybe I think theoretically somebody could build something like it, but I personally do not have the skills and resources to do that. And that is surely true the case with me. I cannot build an Iron Man suit. So it may not be possible for me. So do you think it's possible for you? Maybe other people can live this amazing life. Maybe they can follow their dreams, but maybe you think you cannot do it. Maybe you think that you are fundamentally lacking the skills to do so. And if that is the case, then that is a problem. Of course, the resources and the skills to do so is something that the entire online course that we're presenting is all about. So if you don't have them yet, maybe that is where you get them. But you have to ask yourself, do I believe that? And that is a fundamental question. And then there's the question, are the effort and risks of the necessary actions justifiable? And will what I am doing work? So here now we're looking at the action level. So I may need to invest a certain amount of time and obviously also a little bit of money, even though we established already that is probably not going to be the deciding factor the way the course is set out right now. But that may not be the case forever. So that is a question you need to ask yourself. How much time, how much effort am I going to put into this? And is this going to result in me leading this amazing life where I follow my bliss, where I live my dream? And that is a question you need to deal with. And finally, this is now we're getting to the world we live in, the planet Earth, the world of results, so to speak. Will the result really be desirable in its consequences? So let's suppose I live my dream. Is that really going to be so great? Is that really something I would actually want to live my dream? Or would that be like, could I be too happy or something like that? You may have doubts about this. Sometimes people are actually not scared of failure. They're scared of their success. So is that something that holds you back? All these questions we will look at in greater depth in the course. But right now, I think it's important to bring some awareness to them. And where do you feel are your greatest doubts right now? Please write your answers in the comments below this video, or even send us an email and let us know what your questions are, what your doubts are, and we will try to support you in finding answers to them. Now, but let's suppose you find the solution to these answers for you personally. How do we go on? What's going to happen? What is this course actually about? And what are the other reasons that you might actually fail? So in order to more deeply understand what these doubts are, because I want to emphasize the fact that having these doubts, asking these questions is a natural part of every hero's journey. And this is beautifully illustrated in Star Wars. And I want to show you two scenes that show exactly how Luke Skywalker is confronted with these questions and doubts. And the first one is being presented with the refusal, with the doubt externally. So what does that look like? Let's look at it.
And if these new droids do work out, I want to transmit my application to the Academy this year.
You mean the next semester before the harvest?
Sure, there's more than enough droids.
Harvest is when I need you the most. It's only one season more. This year we'll make enough on the harvest that I'll be able to hire some more hands, and then you can go to the Academy next year. You must understand I need you here, Luke.
But it's a whole nother year.
Look, it's only one more season.
Yeah, that's what she said when Biggs and Tank left.
Where are you going?
Looks like I'm going nowhere. I have to go finish cleaning those droids.
Oh, and he can't stay here forever. Most of his friends have gone. It means so much to him.
I'll make it up to him next year. I promise.
Luke's just not a farmer, Owen. He has too much of his father in him.
That's what I'm afraid of.
So here we see exactly what's going on. Here, the doubt, here the refusal is represented through the voice of Uncle Owen. And he is not too fond of Luke's ambitions. And there's actually a famous statement by somebody who has actually overcome the refusal in his own life and did something amazing. And that is Mark Twain. And to him, a statement about exactly the situation is attributed. He says, keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that. But the really great make you feel that you too can become great. So that's what Mark Twain has to say about this. So do you feel that the voices of other people keep you down, keep you away from following your bliss? Do not let that happen. That is my advice to you. In fact, that is Mark Twain's advice to you. That doesn't mean that doubts aren't reasonable. You need to think them through. You need to look at them, and then you need to overcome the refusal. But sometimes the doubts are not external. Sometimes the doubts come from inside. And the next scene is all about that. So let's look at this scene.
Alderaan? I'm not going to Alderaan. I've got to get home. It's late. I'm in for it as it is.
I need your help, Luke. She needs your help. I'm getting too old for this sort of thing.
Listen, I can't get involved. I've got work to do. It's not that I like the Empire. I hate it, but there's nothing I can do about it right now. It's all such a long way from here.
That's your uncle talking.
Boy, my uncle. How am I ever going to explain this?
Learn about the Force, Luke.
Look, I can take you as far as Anchorhead. You can get a transport there to Mos Eisley or wherever you're going.
You must do what you feel is right, of course.
Well, you must do what you feel is right, of course. And that's exactly the case with you right now. You must do what you feel is right. But what is your choice going to be? Now, there's again a famous person who had something to say about this. And that is Marie von Eber-Eschenbach, a German writer, who said this beautiful statement: the happy slaves are the worst enemies of freedom. So if you are happy with a life in which you are not following your bliss, in which you're not living your dream, if you justify that you should be a farmer when you Luke Skywalker and are meant to be a Jedi Knight, then that's what's going to happen. You're going to stay a farmer. But if you want to achieve something greater in life, don't be satisfied with anything less. And that is what this idea is all about. So you need to sometimes overcome the internalized refusal. Now, for the moment, let's suppose you do. What is going to happen next? You need to know what you are actually subscribing to. And I'm trying to give you an overview and at the same time look at why people fail other than failing at the stage of the refusal. So you may have agreed that following your bliss is, after all, a thing worthwhile doing, but you also need to actually take the next step. And the next step is literally crossing the threshold. Crossing the threshold. You need to do the next step. And in this case, concerning this course that we are offering, crossing the threshold, the next step is literally going to be about subscribing to the course, applying for the course, subscribing to the course. Now, if you do that, what is going to happen after this? If you don't fail crossing the threshold, then the next point at which some people actually fail is they don't find mentors and supernatural aid. Now, for the hero, this means he finds a magical sword, he finds a wise wizard like King Arthur found Merlin, or Luke Skywalker found Obi-Wan Kenobi, who taught him about the Force. Now, in this training, in this course, we're going to give you the resources, the tools, the supernatural aid. Well, it's not necessarily going to be supernatural in the literal sense, but it's going to be archetypal. So you find these resources, but it's not enough to have these resources. The next stage where the hero might fail is the road of trials. He needs to face the dragon. He needs to use the magic sword and fight against the dragon. And if he doesn't dare to do that, it's not going to lead him anywhere. So just, being at the course that we offer and not really applying the things that we're going to offer to you to yourself, and this will involve some kind of a meditative trance workshop. This may involve interactions. This involves thinking about your own life in a certain way and dealing with the results, etc. Only if you actually do what this course offers you as tools, only then you are likely to get to the next stage. And the next stage is assuming a heroic status. Now, the hero needs to, at some point, step forward and say, I am a hero, I'm here in the world, and assume his role. And there are many, many stories in which the hero fails to do that and therefore fails to progress on his hero's journey. If you want to know more about the hero's journey, we have an entire playlist about the details. But concerning our course, this means, once you've gone through the course, done the stuff, and done the exercises, you will now be in a position to know what your bliss is. Or if you already knew what your dream is, what your passion in life is, then you will have a deeper understanding of it. You will have integrated it more. And that's an important step. But there is more to come. Because the next step is the meeting with the muse. And that's the deeper level of the adventure. Think of it as, if you can look at this diagram, it's like a deeper level of stage one, hearing the call to adventure. Now you're hearing it on a deeper level. Now you're hearing the call to actually apply it in your daily life, because that's the important thing. Now you know what your bliss is. You need to live your bliss. You need to find the opportunities, just like hearing the call to adventure is an opportunity to even know about the adventure. Now you need to apply your bliss, your heroic inner nature to the world. And if you do that, there will be challenges, there will be deeper temptations, and you need to overcome the temptation. Now, I'm just going to use an example. Let's say your bliss, your true calling would be to find a cure for cancer, let's say. And let's suppose you get to the point that you might find it. Then there will be big pharma companies who will probably say, hey, well, maybe it's better if you don't find like a final cure, but something that just cures it for maybe a month or maybe just a week, and people need a shot of the medication that you make every week. You can make a lot of money with this. That's not the ideal. Are you going to fall for that temptation and not do what you set out and really finally find the cure, but maybe just find something that helps a little bit with it? There's all kinds of temptation depending on where your bliss lies. And only if you overcome this, only if you actually do this, you get to the next final stage that is the ultimate boon. You find the cure, you find this wonderful thing that you are doing for the world to make the world a better place. And if you found that, you need to not just keep it for yourself. Again, that's kind of like a similar theme. You need to actually return home with the gift. I need to go a little bit out of the picture so you see this. That's the idea. And in a sense, that's a little bit where I'm at with this program that I'm offering to you. I'm here right now offering what I have learned to you. I am offering you the gift of an amazing life. Now, again, there is what this constitutes. This means now you are in the position of the one who offers something, and others may refuse it. So some people will perhaps refuse it. But if people won't refuse it, then the final stage is the new adventure, because this is actually a new adventure in itself. And out of it will come what in mythology could be called the circle of heroes, the round table, for example, or the community of Jedi Knights, if you want a modern example. And more amazing things will happen this once you establish this community. And right now you have the possibility to become part of such a community and follow your bliss, find and follow your bliss. But still, you may have questions. All these steps you could fail at because you might not take them. But is this the right thing for you? You know, because do you even trust that anything I offer here has any value? Of course, you've already learned a little bit about the concepts and the way, the background thinking of this type of work. But there's still the question, do you think you want to trust this course? And that's also a part of mythology. I want to show you one more scene from Star Wars that illustrates this idea.
I stumbled across a recording while I was cleaning him. He says he belongs to someone called Obi-Wan Kenobi. I thought he might have meant old Ben. Do you know what he's talking about?
Hmm.
Oh, I wonder if he's related to Ben.
That wizard's just a crazy old man.
A crazy old man. So now you have to decide whether this person, this wizard, is just a crazy old man, or a wizard, or perhaps the Jedi Master who helps you on your path to find and follow your bliss. It's up to you. If you follow the likes and the voices, the inner or external Uncle Ben, then maybe the idea of following your bliss is crazy. I'm just a crazy old man, and it's not worthwhile to spend any time with this. Maybe delete the information, never look at the video. You know, I mean, that's literally what Ben's going to say to Luke. Let's have the memory erased of the droids. So never think of it, never speak of it again. Or maybe you find, no, there's a deeper meaning in this. Maybe I want to follow this. Whatever your choice is, it may change the rest of your life by following it or not following it. So I'm looking forward to welcome you at the next step. I'm looking forward to meet you once you have crossed the threshold, and even accompany you if you have any more questions about the training we offer. And if you would like to know more about this, if you're interested, definitely subscribe to our newsletter, subscribe to our channel for more information, send us your questions by email. And if you subscribe to a newsletter, you will also be informed about upcoming free events, such as our upcoming free live seminar about the question, should I assume that my life has a greater purpose or not? What are the reasons to do that, and what are the reasons not to do that? And what would be a good conclusion for me? We'll explore these questions in an upcoming live seminar. If you want to be part of it, please subscribe to the newsletter and be part of the community, learn more about it. In either case, if you found this video valuable, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'm looking forward to see you to welcome you again in future videos, and perhaps have a live interaction on any of our live interactive online or in-person events. I'm looking forward to hear more from you. Let us know in the comments what are your main questions. Bye for now, and thanks for watching.